Welcome back to our live stream portion. We talked earlier about certain games having playoff implications. Rockdale's currently holding on to the fourth and final playoff spot.
A win tonight, though, puts the Tigers into the playoffs as they're in the midst of a two-game losing streak. Again, win over Gerald. They could get in without any help next week. A huge matchup tonight. It's senior night at Tiger Stadium, the beautiful new Tiger Stadium. And Gerald trying to snap a three-game losing streak of their own. Opening kickoff, Ross Loft tees it up, goes with the onside kick.
Wow.
Nathan Newland recovers. Ensuing drive. Jace Robinson rolls to his left, broken play. Looks down the field, finding Kashawn Raven downfield. That play goes for 40 yards. It's the game's first score, 7-0. Both teams exchange punts. Gerald on 4th down and 5 fakes the field goal. Christopher Pursley tosses to Henry Rodriguez on the left. That sets them up inside the 5. Next play, handoff to Jasper Compton. We are tied up at 7, going to the big board. The Rockdale Tigers, if this result holds, they're going to the postseason.
Over at Rogers, the Eagles could clinch the playoff berth with a win over Florence. Third quarter, Florence opening the half with the football. 4th and 1, Colby Vaughn on the keeper, picks up 5 for that first down. Later in the drive, 4th down again, Vaughn on the keeper to his right, gets sacked. Eagles take over. Oh, did I remind you it was 52-0 already? 2 plays later, handoff to J.J. Frieden. He's gone, 65 yards, 59-0 at that point. How bad did it get? It's still going, winding down, 59-0 right now.
Scores from around Class 3A. Grosbeck is still alive in the playoff picture with a 55-37 win over McGregor. Teague takes down Maypearl 44-0. Means they've got a shot at a district title when they visit West next week. Cameron Yo takes care of Maynard Newtek as expected, 76-0. Troy with a big win over Lago Vista, 62-0 as well. And Grandview takes care of Whitney, 47-12. So actually, that takes Teague out of the district title contention because Grandview has the tiebreaker against the Lions. West has the tiebreaker against the Zebras. So either way, that game at West next week, West and Teague, that's going to be a huge matchup.
That's a big-time matchup. Of course, all up on our website right now, we have a breakdown of all the playoff scenarios heading into this week and, of course, next week. This guy was up all night on Monday.
I'll update it this weekend.
He updated everything. So one team that we saw still in the hunt is Copper's Cove. We showed you earlier a huge 41-35 win over Shoemaker last night. Joining us right now on the FNL hotline, my favorite coach, Jack Alvarez of those Copper's Cove Bulldogs. Coach, what a game last night. It got wild late in the fourth quarter, but you guys managed to hang on and come away with the win. How big was that?
That was a huge win for us, Nick. We just had to win. That bottom line, it got crazy there at the end, and kids played through it, and I was proud of them.
Coach, it's Curtis. You guys have a big showdown with Temple this coming week. What are you telling your kids as you go through practice?
Well, I want to tell them the same thing I told them last 3 weeks. We just need to win. Block everything out. It's a playoff situation. We've been in that for the last 2-3 weeks now. We just got to keep playing and come away with the win.
What does it mean to have a winning record at this point in the season? Because in years past, we've seen Copper's Cove go to the playoffs, but they would finish the season 5-6, 4-7. I mean, to have a winning record at this point and these kids buying in, how big is that for you guys?
Well, just as far as the first-year program goes, I'm so proud of them buying in and the effort I get day in and day out. It's been a ton of fun, and I just can't wait to see. I want to see how they finish up.
Coach, I want to take you through kind of I don't know what to call it, the mess that is the District 12 6A playoff scenario. Killeen losing tonight to Ellison. As we take a look at the Copper's Cove playoff scenario, a win next week with a Killeen loss in one of the final 2 games, which happened tonight against Ellison, would put you guys in. But now that Ellison won, they are not out of it. They need some help there. How crazy is kind of balancing all of this as a coach in this district?
Well, main thing is, like I keep saying, win. We take care of the winning part. We don't really have to worry about all that other mess, because then after that it would get pretty tricky. The way I see it, if we get beat next play, we could either come up with some sort of point flip, or to me it looks like Killeen would have us on points. I'm not real sure on that, so I really don't want to think about it too much. I just want to win.
Hey, Coach, I mean, how much has your team grown from the first day of 2 days when you first walked in the door up until now at this point?
It is unbelievable transformation as far as what we can do offensively and defensively. man, defensively, I'm so proud of the way we play. You know, right now we're probably in the top 2 or 3 defenses in the district statistically, and offensively we're in the top 3. So, you know, for not even knowing one thing about the offense or defense, being able to execute like we can now, man, it is very rewarding.
Coach, one of the names that we've said all season long, Shontez Simmons. What is this young man like?
Oh, he's a great kid as far as just his person and character, and then he is really, really fast, and him and Micah Cox, they complement each other real well. You know, Shontez is really fast. I would call him. He's our speed back, and then you know, Micah, he's more of a downhill kind of guy and makes a good 1-2 punch.
Your defense played outstanding last night. I know the last 3 minutes were pretty wild. They got majority of their yards in that stretch, but just kind of talk about the way this defense played last night and trying to carry this over to next week where they're going to be tested and tested big.
They were dominant for 3 quarters and 8 minutes, and then right there at the end, we had some mess ups and we didn't score when we should have scored. Turn around, give them a big play, and I hats off to Ellison, not Ellison last night, but
Shoemaker.
Yeah, Shoemaker. As far as hats off to Ellison too. I'm glad they won. But anyway, you know, they scored and then got an onside kick, scored, and then put us under the gun. We scored, and then they got another onside kick. You know, that was made the game end up very exciting. But you know, as far as to me, looking at the game, I thought we were pretty dominant most of the game defensively. We're getting some really good play over there out of Tommy Cannell. I thought he did a great job last night locking down their best guy, and then you know, Jalen Smith just coming off the edge, play after play after play. He's becoming a dominant force in our district.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Best of luck next week. Huge week for you guys. Win, you get in. A lot of scenarios going on, but tremendous season, though. Congratulations.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Always great talking with Copperas Cove head coach Jack Alvarez. I've known the guys since my Southeast Texas days. He coached at Kirbyville, took a team, just brought them to the state semifinals year after year, and now he's doing a great job over at Copperas Cove.
Yeah, turning the culture around. It's a completely different program from this time a year ago down there with the Bulldogs. So you really got to honestly, I'm here for this District 12 6A playoff scenario. 3 teams going for 1 spot.
That's crazy. That is incredible.
Texas has the best high school
football. They do.
And that's a big
reason.
Yeah,
speaking of 12-6A, let's go back out to our game of the week where Jessica Maury is out there. Midway, a huge win over Temple on the road. They have to be feeling good about themselves right now.
Thanks, guys. Well, what a win for the Panthers tonight. A lot of people counted them out in this game, saying that Temple was going to run away with it, but Midway battled. Temple battled. It came down to a field goal, 31-28 the final. So what does that mean? It means the Midway Panthers share at least get a share of the District 12 6A title. So if they have Belton next week, if they beat Belton, then they will have the outright district title. Now, if they lose to Belton, that could change things up all over the place. It could be a 3-way tie for the top spot between Belton, Midway, and Temple there. But the big thing here is the playoff situation that it puts the Panthers in. Basically, right now, it looks like the Panthers, because they are going to go Division II once the playoffs start, they will get to host a by-district playoff game, which is huge because Temple, getting that number 2 seed, will have to travel to face number 4 Longview. Going to Longview is no easy task, especially in the playoffs. So this was a tough loss for the Wildcats because of that. But here's something interesting. After the game, I talked with Temple running back Anthony Jackson, who had a heck of a ball game out here for the Wildcats. Him and James Fulbright just lit it up on both sides of the ball, running the ball for both teams. It was unbelievable by Jackson. I talked with him after the game, and he said, you know what? We're not hanging our heads about this because now we've lost a game. We've learned to lose. We've lost this game. We're going to learn from it. It's going to be fine because the next loss that we would have would be in the playoffs and it would send us home. So we're handling this as, okay, we got it out of the way. we got that one loss out of the way. And he reminded me, if you think back to 2016, they lost that district championship game by 1 point to College Station, and Temple went on to go to the state championship, ultimately losing to Highland Park there at AT&T Stadium. He reminded me of that, and he says they're talking about that in the locker room, reminding themselves that, hey, this isn't the end of the road. It's just going to make it a little bit harder having to go to Longview. Obviously, the playoff road is not going to be as easy as it could have been hosting a game here, but just very intellectual answer from him, so I was impressed with that answer. But as for Midway, James Fulbright, Nick Jimenez, just huge ball games. Both coaches calling aggressive games, going for it on fourth down. At one point, Midway went for it on 4th and 1 from their own 7. I mean, it was a crazy night here. Again, it came down to a field goal. Now, Temple did have a chance at one point in the second quarter to kick a field goal, and instead they elected to go for it and to hope to get a touchdown, and they didn't. So that's probably coming back to haunt them right now. I'm sure Coach Stewart is thinking about that play call right now. But again, not the end of the world for the Wildcats, and certainly not the end of the world for the Midway Panthers. They do have to host Belton, which is going to be a tough one, a lot on the line in that one. Belton has already wrapped up a playoff spot, so they will definitely have the #1 seed in Division 1. So they'll most likely be hosting a playoff game, and then that second seed, like you guys talked about, it's between Cove, Killeen, and Ellison. So pretty crazy stuff, but Midway gets the win here tonight, pulling the upset over the Panthers, or over the Wildcats. The Panthers have now won 33 straight district ball games, and they are 5-0 all time against the Wildcats, and this is one of the closest games that they've played. Again, this is only the 5th time these teams have met. So playoff-like atmosphere here. It pretty much was a playoff game for these teams. 31-28, the final. Midway wins at least a share of that District 12 6A title. They will most likely host a by-district round playoff game, while Temple will have to go to Longview to face 4th-ranked Lobos. Reporting live here at Wildcat Stadium from our game of the week, where the Midway Panthers get the win 31-28. Jessica Morey, Channel 6 Sports.
Okay, Jessica, 1 second. I want to get your thoughts on something. So, if Midway is in, if Coppers Cove gets that 4th spot from the district, that would mean Cove and Temple go the Division 2 route, which puts Midway in that Division 1 route. So what are your thoughts on next Friday's game if that Belton Midway game winds up being for the 1st seed in the Division 1 bracket?
I mean, that's going to be what would be insane here, is if some way Cove, like you guys were talking to Jack Alvarez, just how absolutely nuts the scenario is that Cove could sneak in there, and then that would switch everything up from what we were talking about here. But I mean, they've got to play Temple. I would have to say that Temple has a very good chance to win that game. Again, Cove has a lot more to play for than the Wildcats have to play for. So that's going to definitely be interesting. Again, the Midway Belton game is interesting just for the seeding purposes. And then, of course, for the district, that's for the district title there, because Temple already beat Belton. So if Belton beats Midway, it's a whole thing. This District 12 6A is absolutely insane. Like Curtis said, he said, I'm here for it. I'm also here for it. I think all of Central Texas is here for it right now. I know David Smoke calls the district with Lorena, Fairfield, Mejia, that district, he calls it District Bipolar. I don't know what I would call District 12 6A. I don't know if I wouldn't call it District Bipolar because it's not as crazy, but I mean, it's you didn't think coming into this year, I didn't think it was going to be as competitive as this. I think we talked about it and we said, okay, it's going to be Midway, Temple, Belton, easy. But, was that 4th spot? Okay, maybe Killeen, maybe. We didn't really know who that 4th spot was going to be. We assumed it was going to be one of, the Killeen schools. So we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, we need a nickname for this district. I don't know if you guys might have one. I'll have to think of one.
I like Nick. The Tasmanian Devil
what
District.
Was it?
It's just crazy. I said the Tasmanian Devil District. It's just
yes.
crazy.
Yeah.
How would we have known
Tasmanian
all
Devil
this
District,
stuff
nice.
would happen here?
Yeah. In
fact, all these teams.
Go ahead and Jessica, if you can hear us, let me go through the playoff scenarios for Killeen, Coppers Cove, and Ellison. I'm reading it off of my phone because I don't want to get it wrong. This is as we were entering into tonight. Coppers Cove, they needed to win out. And because of a Week 4 loss against Killeen, this is before points get involved in the event of a 3-way tie. They needed Killeen to lose one of its final 2. That happened as long as Cove can beat Temple on Friday night, a game that Temple likely would be favored in. Now, Ellison, they are in a sticky situation because of their bye in Week 11. Ellison is done in the regular season.
Yeah, they got to buy. So that's they
Right.
they are looking at every game right
They
now
need help.
and need a lot of help.
Yeah. So they, in order to clinch a playoff spot, would need a win against Killeen, and Copper's Cove would need to lose both of its final 2 games because the Bulldogs hold the tiebreaker 53-26. But because of that point situation coming in the event of a 3-way tie, I don't think they're technically still out of it. And then Killeen, Killeen needs to win out, but the Roos could have clinched with 1 win and a Coppers Cove loss in one of the final 2 weeks.
This is going to get nuts. Next week is for all the marbles.
Next week is going to be awesome.
It is going to be crazy. Let's go from 6A down to Class 2A. Crawford, they've already clinched a spot in the postseason, but tonight's test, that's going to get them prepared for the playoffs.
Because San Saba, one of the best teams in Central Texas, the Dillos, have been outscoring their opponents 53-6 and are one of the best teams in 2A
That's
right
crazy.
now. Red hot.
Yeah, they still actually, Crawford has a shot at a district title. If they win the remaining 2 games, a little bit of help. This one right here, the handoff to this running back, and yeah, look at that. Oh, leaping over, look like Zeke Elliott. Oh, man. Another move, stiff arm, down in the red zone, making defenders miss, and then finally brought down. And then, what is this here?
What is happening?
What do we got here? A little trickery. The offense, he's going to take the handoff.
The trickeration.
Walk in the end zone. San Saba strikes first, but then Crawford, they would end up going up 12-7 in this one. But when we go to the final, it was all San Saba. They stepped on the gas, 41-14, your final.
Over in Valley Mills, the Eagles need to win out in order to make the playoffs. Tonight, it starts against Heiko, who is also fighting for a playoff spot. Brandon Johnson for the Tigers fakes the handoff, goes with the option,
Oh, no.
fumbles it on the pitch. Valley Mills recovers. The Eagles are in business, and they would capitalize on the next drive. Chase Keaton in the pocket, heaves one down the sideline.
Nice.
Oh my
nice
goodness.
catch.
What a touchdown there. After a few drives, Valley Mills is going to get the ball back. The Eagles, they have a shot.
I'm telling you, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. Trust us. It's coming.
It's coming.
It's happening. But you talked about Valley Mills.
Valley Mills, they need to win out.
they
And
got to.
again, Heiko's also fighting for a playoff spot. Rolls to his left. Heaves it down the field in the middle. It is picked off. So Heiko is in complete control at that point. Valley Mills is in business. 24-15. The Eagles are still in it.
They are soaring. Win by Riesel tonight would lock up a playoff spot as the Indians squared off against Itasca on senior night. Steven Searcy back to pass. He's going to get it. Looked right, looks left. Can't find anybody open. He's going to take off running. Weaves in, weaves out. Let's go across the field. Look at this guy go. Stiff arm. He's down.
Somebody
they would
finally
actually
gets him
score
down.
a touchdown. They would punch it in. Extra point would be good. 7-0. So Andrew Ariello, back to pass, going to go deep. And watch this. What a catch by this receiver.
Oh.
Dropped it right in. Later, Oriano to his receiver again. Deep. Catching it again. Down to the 5-yard line. They would end up scoring. However, Riesel, they win 53-6.
That's also another district that's completely crazy town banana pants right now. Over in Holland, where the Hornets look to remain unbeaten in district play, hosting Thrall. The Hornets running the option here.
They're trying to get down. Bring him
Tailback
down.
Rook Brown fighting through the defenders deep inside.
Hunter Turk here. Going to take this
No,
handoff.
that is not Hunter Turk.
Well, all we know now is, let's see.
Let's go to the big board on this one. Holland wins 63-14. Holland's only loss this season, that's right, defending state champion Martin.
Wow, Martin looking to play spoiler tonight, taking on Hearn. This is Micah Smith in the backfield, passing to Javarian Bailey. He sees him. You see his hand waving in the air? He's got it. He's going to make one guy miss. That's a touchdown for Hearn. Extra point is good. Then Smith once again. Oh, but this is an extra point here. Look at that. Nice and easy. Let's give the kicker some credit there. All
Chris
right,
Rogers
Smith
would love that.
to Bailey. Another touchdown. This guy's waving his hand all the time. And look, when you wave your hand, you got to catch that ball. He does it right. That extra point, no good. He was all Hearn in this one. 59-7.
Over in Bremond, the Tigers were on the road taking on district leading Iola. District second place Iola. Randu Johnson to Andrew Crenshaw. Crenshaw on the loose. He's going to score the touchdown. The PAT is no good, and Iola is up 6-0. Back in business, the Bulldogs are. Johnson out wide to Case Creamer. Creamer all the way in for a Bulldog TD. It is 12-0. Iola. PAT no good again. Bremond down 20-0 on the return here. Rekendaria, I hope I said your name right, doing the work.
Has to be Rashad Paul's brother.
All the way to the house. 20-8 is the Iola lead after the 2-point conversion is good. Going to the Big Bird. Iola wins this one 34-27.
Central Texas Christian in search of their 8th win of the season, hosting St. Gerard at UMHB's Crusaders Stadium. St. Gerard punting on its opening drive. Ryan Turley fields it for the Lions. Gets to the outside. The big return looking like Deshaun Jackson in his prime. That's going to help set up this first offensive drive for the Lions. Rylan Turner gets to the outside. Going to score easily for CTCS, 7-0. They're going to add to it on their second drive as Turner going to bust right up the gut for the short touchdown, 14-zip at that point. And win number 8 comes easily, 44-0.
Scores from around Taps. Riker down against the Texas School for the Deaf tonight, 62-27. That game is down in Austin. Live Oak takes care of Temple Holy Trinity, 68-22. Vanguard with a 52-6 win over Concordia Christian out of Round Rock. Now, every week we highlight one player who makes an incredible impact for his team. You know, this week's Gridiron Player of the Week goes to a quarterback who, in spite of an injury, Nick, came back out onto the field, leading his team that was down 3 to a victory in a much-needed district game. This week's Player of the Week, Teague senior quarterback Zach Satterwhite.
We came out, we put up some good points, and in the second half, the Whitney came back, and it was a hard-fought game.
During Week 9, the Teague Lions got a big 47-42 win at Whitney. The win kept the Lions at 3-1 in district with a shot at a district title with 2 games remaining. But as the final drive, which was most impressive, as quarterback Zach Satterwhite led the Lions down the field, down 42-39.
Well, actually, the drive before that, Zach had gotten hurt. His lower leg was hurting, and the coaches took him out of the game and put our backup quarterback in.
We had to basically carry him off the field at one point, and because he couldn't walk, and 7 or 8 plays later, he goes, "Coach, I'm going back in." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's a tough kid. He's not one of those kids that you carry him off and he's ready to go back when he gets a drink of water. But I was very proud of him.
Satterwhite finished with 5 touchdowns, the most important one coming after that leg injury, as the Lions went back home with the win.
Probably one of the best performances I've seen him play. But he plays to the best of his ability every game.
He's been doing that. He's been doing it every week. If you look at his numbers every week for the last 4 weeks, that's exactly what his numbers have been.
So when the coaches pulled him because of his leg, Zach said that pain is what hurt the most.
Well, I could barely walk, and so I was on the sideline, and I was just trying to get back out there, and it hurt not to be able to help our team.
And so, as the Lions try to put a bow on a roller coaster season, they'll hope their banged-up quarterback can heal and continue leading them into the postseason.
We just got to keep working and get better every day, and then try to win out and win district.
And, yeah. Satterwhite was actually sidelined for tonight's win over Maypearl because of that injury, but team coach Donnie Osborne told me Monday they're going to reevaluate his leg over the weekend and on Monday with hopes that he can return for Week 11's game at West, a game that we have been talking about all night long.
Yeah.
Because that game...
That could be our game of the week. We got to take a look at, tonight and then tomorrow, and we have so many options. It's going to be crazy next week.
Yeah.
We got to do it fast, though. Game of the week announcements on Monday. All right, look, let's go from the gridiron to soccer. Big 12 semifinals. Number 1 Baylor taking on 5th seed Texas Tech. 1 minute left to go in the first half. Ariel Leach throws it in. Julie James, the header to go. Bears take a 1-0 lead at halftime. Tech would actually score. They go into overtime. And how about Baylor? They win 2-1 in OT. They're going to take on the winner between West Virginia and Texas on Sunday in the Big 12 Tournament Championship. So the Baylor Bears.
Are we looking at a 3rd straight Big 12
This is
Big 12
unbelievable
now for them?
This is unbelievable for the Baylor Bears. One of the best seasons of all time, pretty much, almost of all time.
Right.
Incredible what they have done this season. They're just on a roll. I don't think they'll lose. and that's going to set them up perfectly for the NCAA tournament.
It is, and that game Sunday, we'll have the highlights for it during Channel 6 News at 5 and Channel 6 News after the game. So we'll keep you updated on all things Baylor soccer because it looks like depending on how the seeding works out, because the coaches poll and the AP poll doesn't always translate into the NCAA brackets. But you have to think that Baylor's going to host.
Yeah, and their RPI is in the top 10. I think it was number 9 the last time I saw it this week. So they should, especially you're picking up another win against Texas Tech. Yeah, that just keeps on piling it up.
Tech is a good team too.
Really, really good team. We have some really good teams coming up next week. It's going to be wild, going to be crazy. Of course, tomorrow we have Baylor homecoming against Oklahoma State. You're Oklahoma State Cowboys. You'll be there. Jessica Moore will be there. UMHB, A&M, Texas.
Big game for UMHB tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a huge game for UMHB. Also a big game for Texas taking on West Virginia.
Yeah.
That's a big game. They want to try to sneak into this playoffs, which I think they're done. 2 losses, unless they went out, go to the Big 12 championship. But I still think Oklahoma's the team to beat.
You know how we were talking about some of our high school teams need a lot of help. Texas has that kind of scenario.
They need a lot of help,
now.
but
they are good enough to be up there.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't know that they're completely back.
No,
that's everybody's favorite question, right? Is Texas back?
They're not back yet. They're not back yet. But I'll tell you what, we will be back next Friday night. The final week of the regular season, going to get wild. District championships are going to be crowned. Number 2, number 3, and number 4 seeding. Somebody's going to be in. Somebody's going to be home for the postseason. So
I'm excited.
It's going to be crazy. So for myself, Curtis Quillen, Jessica Moore out there, and Wildcat Stadium, she's probably still hanging out there. We will see you next Friday night, the final regular season edition of Friday Night Lights. We'll see you next week.